What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review. Today we're taking a look at the new 2025 horror movie Saw-esque film, which has come out recently, called Locked. This does feature the same actor that has played the Crow and has also been in Dune, and then also played Pennywise, and he's now doing yet another horror movie style role. I wouldn't really call it horror movie, I'm going to be honest. I'd call it more of a thriller, with the stuff that actually happens in this horror movie. Well, horror in quotation marks. But other than that, without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say about this 2025 movie. It is 1 hour and 31 minutes, so you can easily just watch it for movie night, compared to the series that we normally take a look at here on the channel. And you can watch this nowhere, because it's exclusively in cinemas. So it is a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb, a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 1.5 out of 4 on Roger. Don't know what fucking Roger is, but sure.
When Eddie breaks into a luxury SUV, he steps into a deadly trap set by a self-proclaimed vigilante who delivers his own brand of twisted justice. Trapped inside the car, Eddie soon discovers escape is an illusion and survival is a nightmare.
So, basically, Eddie is down on his luck. He needs money so then he can pay for his van to get fixed, so then he can continue his job as a delivery driver to then earn money. And obviously, without the van, he can't pick up his daughter from school, so his ex is very angry with him and gives him a little bit of a good old talking to. So he goes around trying to steal things and gather as much money as he can. He blows some of his money on 3 scratch cards, and he scratches them, and unfortunately he loses. He then finds an SUV, which is unlocked. He breaks in, and then he works out that he can't get out. So after trying to break out, he tries to shoot one of the windows and shoots himself in the leg. He answers the phone call of the person who owns the car, and he then sits there in this sick and twisted game, saying that he needs to give punishment because in this city, guess what? The police don't actually care and they don't do anything because they're always busy with other crimes. And his cars have been broken into countless times, and even his house has been broken into a good few times as well. And he decides to torture Eddie by increasing the aircon to make it fucking freezing in the SUV, and to also play yodeling music, which is fucking dreadful and would drive you insane. So as the days goes on, I think he's trapped in this car for a week. He's had the AC turned all the way up, he's been starved, he's been given 1 cookie, and that's it. He's been given 1 bottle of water, he's had to drink his own piss, and he's been basically cooked alive with this insane heat and then frozen with the opposite end of the spectrum. So he is just being tortured and forced to basically, watch as this car decides to take him on a joyride and kill 2 people. No one ever, notices that these 2 people are dead, though, so I guess that they're right. The crime in this city is so intense that it doesn't matter if anybody actually dies. We then have Eddie almost kill himself because the car was about to run over his daughter. And then, the guy who owns the car ends up driving it to him and then makes Eddie tie himself up so that he can get in and then kill Eddie by chopping him up into little pieces. Eddie then crashes the car by pulling the engine switch with his toe and then escapes the car, does the scratch card, and wins $500, sells the van, gets a bike, meets his daughter, end of movie. I'm gonna be honest, the story was pretty good. I liked this movie. I thought it was interesting with how he was trapped to the car, and I can imagine how uncomfortable that would be, just because there isn't a whole lot of room in cars generically. So trying to sleep, trying to lay down, trying to stretch, trying to do anything in this car would be awful, and it would be a scary situation as this person is targeting your family and targeting everything that you know and love, literally just because you were down on your luck and you needed money. It also is a question of morality and shows you how people who are down on their luck can do the wrong thing for a good reason, and it's all about perspective and who's doing what. There was a plot twist with the evil guy's daughter being murdered, which wasn't really a plot twist. I kind of gathered that from the get-go. I basically put money down that was like, oh, she's dead, she's gonna die. So it wasn't too of like a shock when it came out that she was actually dead. I thought that was genuinely pretty obvious from the get-go, from rip, but apparently not many other people actually got that one, so it was a little bit weird. But the action was, again, not too much of it. They were genuinely just in the car for most of the time, and it did get very interesting when the car was driving around. The old guy was very sick and twisted, and it did pull from Saw quite a bit with him having he had some form of cancer, I forget which one, so he was dying and his daughter died, and obviously the police didn't care, and he's had like shit happen to him all his life, so he wants to get some form of justice because he doesn't think that it's fair. Very similar to how in Saw, where the guy is dying from cancer and the doctors don't really give a shit about him and they're not really trying their best to help him, so he goes on a little bit of a killing spree on people who don't really value their life because they are wasting it with drugs and like ruining other people's lives. So, you know, very, very Saw routed, very Saw coded with how this movie is set, and basically just its whole premise as well, with people being tortured and put through uncomfortable, very like dystopian type situations, obviously being burned, being tased inside the car, and being forced to watch and be helpless as the car goes on a killing spree and kills, I do believe, 2 people and almost your daughter as well, causing you to almost blow your own brains out to stop and save your daughter's life, which is genuinely insane, but it does show how much Eddie does love his daughter. There was a couple of references to Batman here, and I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the Batman references, and I did also enjoy the references to a couple of other movies that were in here. That's just how movies are nowadays. There's always going to be a couple of pop culture references to get people to go, oh, I know that. That's cool. But you know what? I quite like them. It can make the movie a little bit outdated if the terms or the pop culture does die off, so it will become a relic of the time and it will ruin the rewatchability. But I'm going to be honest, I think Batman is a pretty safe bet and you can't really go wrong with Batman. However, this movie doesn't have too much rewatchability because all of the shocks and the plot twists don't really have an impact a second time round, and I just wouldn't be interested in watching this movie again. I'm not saying that it's a bad movie, it's just I find it hard to watch movies again anyway. I'm normally like a one-time viewer for movies and then I move on to the next one. So, I think this one is another one of those. It's like a one-time watch type thing. But the acting was quite good. I liked the main character, Eddie. He did a really good job at going through the emotions and showing you how he was losing hope, he was losing effort, he was losing energy, and how he was always very on high stress because of being in this situation, which again you would be. You've just watched 2 people die, you've been tortured, you've been boiled, you've been frozen, and you've been basically starved and I don't know, dehydrated, is that the word for lack of water, lack of drinking, been thirsted to death. But overall, I think the premise of this movie is pretty generic. We have had movies like this done in the past, but I do think it is a good rendition and a nice, interesting take on the genre as well, because I don't think we've had people being stuck in a car before. Obviously we have with 0 to 60 in Speed, where they have to basically keep the car going or it'll explode, but that's a different type of situation than this one. This one, you don't have to keep the car going, so you're not constantly in action. This one does have a little bit of downtime and doesn't always have like such high levels of tension. It does keep you on the edge of your seat, but it doesn't have you like constantly on like, you know, high alert and very tense and constantly worried for Eddie. It does give you a little bit of relaxed time. There is very, very few characters in this movie. There is about 3 characters. Obviously, the old man, the daughter, and him. We never actually see the mum. We hear her voice like twice, but we never actually see her compared to the daughter, and also the daughter was one that was targeted by this old guy, which was really weird and really creepy just because this guy was going to steal his car. And it is a very weird brand of like justice. You're killing somebody for trying to steal your car because they're down in their luck. And again, he has a very rich, like stereotypical rich person view on everything, where it's like, oh, just work for the money. Like, why'd you have to steal it? Why can't you just work? I had to work hard for my money. It just doesn't work like that sometimes, you know? Like, some people's answers to shit is genuinely stupid, and it's just not how shit works in the real world. Or isn't how it works for everybody, if that makes sense. But I really did enjoy this movie. I would definitely give it like a 7 out of 10. I think it's a solid movie, and if you haven't seen it, I would recommend that you go check it out for yourself. I do like the actor that does play the main character of Eddie, and he was the main drawing point to me watching this movie. Again, he has been in Crow, he's played Pennywise, and he's done a couple of other big acting roles, so he is a great actor, and you've probably definitely seen him over the past couple of years because he is making a name for himself on the silver screen. But yeah, other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.